What's up guys, welcome to your 34th tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to show you guys how to create a visual table with our multi-dimensional arrays that we made in our last tutorial. So let's go ahead and make a whole new method to do this, since it will be a lot easier. And go ahead and write public static, spell it right, void main, and actually it's not main, give it a name like display or something, since it's displaying your array. And in your parameters, since it's going to be taking in a multi-dimensional array, just have it take one parameter in a multi-dimensional array. Easy enough. Now in the body of this display method, we're going to need to write two loops. One loop is going to loop through the rows, and one loop is going to loop through the columns. And actually the loop for the columns is going to be inside the loop for the rows. So go ahead and write your first for loop and put int row or something so you can see that it's looping through the rows, and just set that equal to 0, and then put row is less than x length or whatever you used up here, and then just put increment them by 1. And now inside this for loop we want another loop to loop through the columns, so let's put for and put int column OLUMN, there we go, equals 0, since we want to start at the 0th index. Then you want it to be, let's see, column is less than x, because that's what we passed into it, row, and then we want just the length of that. So what this would do is loop through the exact length, no more no less. That's a neat little trick. So anytime you're making a for loop to do this inside, instead of just x length, because you don't want the length of that, you want the length of the row. So that's how you would do this. So and then just put increment by 1, COLUMN, can't spell column, there we go. And this is your syntax for your inside loop. Set it equal to 0, have it go until the end of the row, and just increment it by 1. So now for the body of text we need for this is we just want it to output the rows on the screen. So system out print, make a simple print statement and not a print line, because we want to have it in rows, and we don't want a new line every time, or that would be a new row. So let's go ahead and just print x row column. And what this is going to do is take the index of row, which is going to start at 0, and this is going to start at 0 every time, and this is going to print out our rows. And so let's just add a little spacer in between, a new tab, and this will just give us some space between our numbers. So now that we have another row, let's go ahead and just make a new line. So let's put system out print line. So here is the end. I forgot a semicolon right there. So here's what this method does. The first argument it takes is the row number, and the second argument it takes is the column number. It loops through, and what this does right here is it just prints a row. And what this does is when you get to the end of the row, it's going to move down a new line, so you print a new row. If I didn't have this, it would print everything all on one row, and I don't want that, so that's why I added this. So now we have a couple arrays, and we have a method to print out those arrays. Let's make sure I got my curly brackets in right. There we go, should be good. So now I have arrays, a method to print out those arrays. Now let's actually call that method. So all we would do, let's make a print statement so we see what's going on. Print line, and just put something like, this is the first array. And to call this, what you would do is simply put display, since this is the name of our method, and you want to pass it an array. So let's go ahead and put first array, and again, you don't need, I spell array with 3 R's, yes I did. And again, you don't need to put any number of elements, since it already knows. So next, let's just do our other one, system out print line, and then just write this is the second array, and then just display that too, not the splat, display second array. There we go. Should be good. So now let me run this, make sure it works, and I'll show you guys. And take note, in my first array there are 2 rows. The first row has 8, 9, 10, 11. Second row has 12, 13, 14, 15. And in my second row I have 3 rows with all different column lengths. So now if we look at this visually, in my first array, what's actually a FERTS array, spelled that wrong, has 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 in this row. And again, that's this in the first row and this in the second row. And in my second array, let's see what I got. 30, 31, 32, 33, 4 values in the first row, this one in the second row, and 3 in the last row. So again, that's 4, 1, and then 3. So that's how you print out visually your table in a multi-dimensional array. So let me explain to you guys one last time how this works, and hopefully this will clear some things up. We went and we had ahead and made some multi-dimensional arrays using our 2 square brackets and kind of putting arrays in an array. That's what a multi-dimensional array is. This calls the function, or the method, excuse me. And what the method is, or how it works, is this. This is just housekeeping stuff. We want it to pass a multi-dimensional array. So we make a multi-dimensional array. We just name it X so we can use it in our method. So the first thing we do, this entire thing is a for statement right here, and this just loops through the rows, or the first ones, and inside that you need to loop through the columns, or the second one. And then we went ahead and just printed it out with spaces in between, and once we got to the end of a row we just printed a whole new line. So that is how you do that. And again, what we did right here was called making a visual table using a multi-dimensional array. So again, just copy exactly as I did, and once you type it for yourself you'll understand it a lot better. But for now, that's all I got for you for this tutorial. In the next tutorial, I'll probably do something a little bit easier but just as useful. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to check out my next tutorial.